Waking up. I had to clean my PlayStation for a bit. So basically, doing ready to do some stuff. Before we do anything, delete some old pictures. Now we're going to be doing the gunslinger instead of a shotgun leg. Been a while since I do. Been a while since I've done talking for a bit. I have a good controller for the sound to make. Yeah, well, basically waking up, so let's do this. Okay, making my gunslinger different. I'm gonna just use pistols and rifle, Western weapons. So let's see, we're dealing with shit. This guy ran. Where you going? Still scrap. Like most gunslingers, I'm basically mm, fly scorches. Still scrap. Okay, now as a gunslinger, I have to just keep my eye ready.
Get the hell out of here! Ah, you talk to the well. Could kill them all. Island nearby's got a... something... Mind the local?
Okay, now we got to get something from a death cloth in there. Okay. Amazing. Yeah, it's quite tough. Where it go? Say hi to the person. Hello there. Huh. Nice bow. Taken out as a gunslinger. Got a bit quicker to draw.
find me my egg? Well, hello. That is a beauty. When they're hatched, you
Mm,
gotta call me Papa. Here,
this is
those are mine into the bargain. Make the most of them.
stupid. Scorch always problem. What you get? Stupid.
Clean up this. Fix that. It never seems to end. I got a little carried away this morning and chopped too much lumber. I wasn't expecting any payment at all. Here you go. A little compensation for your generosity.
Helping people is always be generous with your cats. Right now, hiding. Okay. Hmm. Gunslinger always be prepared for everything. Sucks.
Oh, a visitor. Oh, I thought this day would never come. I haven't had a visitor. I'm called Mr. Clark. Cursory analysis suggests you are... as- Splendid. Once you've finished renting... It looks like you've successfully registered as a shelter owner. I'll distribute your... Before we part... Then allow me to...
More bullets. That's all I need. It's 4 bullets. Show them the devil. Something out. Put me in this position. Think I was just a simple gunslinger. Even if they try to go after me, they always have a second round. The gunslinger, one bullet for each gangster. One bullet for each false. One bullet for each villain. Most gunslingers don't even walk like pistol and a rifle. It's the cowboy way. Even a sniper rifle, part of the cowboy. Gunslingers just need one life. something more. But there's always a wall. Let's get started. We're about to walk, like take down damage. We're all about to witness the devil of the walls. No all men. Just Singapore.
What is it? Whoever's out there, execute this.
They don't know what I'm about to do. Excuse me, everyone. Allergies acting up. bullets, make some ammo. Let's see, 40.
Intruder!
Just basically made me come back with 44 rounds and put a bullet in your head. So now, let's see. Okay. Now, basically, I have to keep asking off. Right. There's a rocket will do. Now, let's see. Like that. Dude, shotgun bullet out gunslinger.
No one's heard from Batter.
Suspect he finally managed to get himself killed. That was a long shot anyway. Always figured it'd take someone coloring with a full box of crayons to find us our prize.
Try harder.
You make with the devil. Basic die. But before we go meet her, we gotta go grab some items.
Actually killed the bastard, huh? Here, deals. Bye.
Attention citizens. Nuclear strike imminent. Please exit the area at your earliest convenience. Thank you for your cooperation.
Danger.
you're back. You managed to get those punks out of our hair yet? Well, that's good to hear. Though judging by that look in your eye, I have exactly 0 follow-up questions on the method of your negotiations. But you did good. Shows maybe you could be trusted. Maybe. But there's still the issue of my missing muscle. They went out chasing some unsavory characters. Never came back. They're 2 of the tougher cookies I've met in my day. So them being gone this long means something happened. You track them down? Maybe I remember a thing or two about this Crane fella. Music to my ears. Missing person number 1's named Polly. Got a transmitter in her. You could track her with your little radio there. Missing person number 2 goes by Saul. Those 2 are closer than toes and bad stilettos. So if you find one, the other's likely close by. Find them for me, and I'll pay you for the privilege of getting to yell at them in person. Appreciate it. Polly's tracking frequency is 99.7. The once proud home of Appalachia's smooth jazz. I figured someone should get some use out of it. Find out what happened to them. If I need to find new people, I'd like to at least ensure I tried to do right by the old ones.
Hey, now I'm gonna learn. Yeah, now I'm gonna learn what it means to be a demon gun. They're gonna call me the gun. My endurance. Going to bed in a bed. Can someone revive me? Gunslingers always carry a gun, a pistol. Not basically hidden use. I can only scope where I need to. But damn, this cannonball. This cannon is hard. Let's see. Be ready one day. This up. Grand finale. Damn right, so. As Gunslinger said, always smart.
track their nest to the old lake. The sandstorm and my supper will drive them out. I hope you're up for exterminating these vermin. I'll keep a close eye on things.
Mm.
Was launched. SCP-330 was seized as evidence, but all attending officers were killed. After officer emptied the bowl of his contents. The cause of death was a result of Foundation agents, under the guise of federal agents, recovered the object with acceptable casualties. Identity. Due to continuous security issues, SCP-330 will be held at Dr. Kondraki's office when not required for testing. Experiment. Name. Researcher bond. Date. 2000. Subject. D-330-01. A double amputee. Was totally
I was in Watoga, coordinating a statewide science fair for that year's high school kids. And the theme was the future of energy. After the bombs, everything was pretty chaotic. Scavenging for food and fighting off rabid survivors. Oh, it was just a bad time all around. I found a couple of surviving kids from the high school whose parents didn't make it. And we holed up in a house in town for a while. After a bit, I was able to solder the circuitry in an old radio, and we tuned in to a broadcast from the responders. Oh, we were overjoyed. The trip from Watoga to Flatwoods, it was rough, mind you. The kids and I ran into a group. I can't tell you how happy I was to find the responders in Flatwoods. tents for everyone, open kitchens, medical supplies, protection. We were safe. They had a problem, though. Their water sources were contaminated heavily. People were boiling water, but not long enough to make it safe. So, I stepped up and I said, I'll build a testing kit to monitor the contamination, and I will teach folks how to properly boil water. And
I thought this town was really nice before
the world is getting better, but slowly.
Volunteer oil,
We need
water
to make sure
is
it
necessary
doesn't
for
relapse, too.
equipment, sterilization.
It's going to take time
Please
and care,
assist.
that's all. Well, time, care, and science.
Make yourself at home. I did.
Dasa has asked us.
Hi there.
Reverend Delbert Winters here, born and raised in this very town. Met my own church to the responders for their outpost here, and you're welcome. The responders are on a true mission, you see, helping folks through thick and thin, till the heavens open up again and take us all up anyways. When this all happened, I figured like most it was time. This was the end, but it wasn't, was it? We're still here. At first, I thought it was a mistake, that we was missed, forgotten. Maybe we did some wrong. Didn't give enough to charity, maybe. Didn't praise his name, even in the worst of times. Maybe thought some things that ought not to been thought. So I asked how? Why? I fought your wars on Earth. I'm ready to fight them up there by your side. Then, in my despair, I saw some survivors eating raw rat carcass behind a dumpster. You ought to cook that first, I warned them. Seemed obvious. We tried but got sick, they said, covered in their own filth. I realized right then and there that I was being tasked. Then on, I built kitchens, cooked good food, fed anyone who walked up with an empty belly. And I was thankful for my task in life. Thankful. Next time hell or high water land at my stoop, I'll be swept clear away with it. But until then, let's share a home-cooked meal together, all right?
Another stray comes to our cozy cabin. Oh, goody! My magic. That's what I like to hear. You can never shine the moon enough.
Three headshots. Hip damage.
Well, I think we're ready to get this jamboree going. Light the fire, moonshiners, and try not to shoot each other. Don't forget to fill the tub with that sizable salamander venom. Well, you don't see angry, sizable salamanders do that every day. why you're not protecting the stills? why you're not protecting the stills? I had tear ducts, I would cry at a moment like this. Such a wonderful moonshine jamboree.
Hmm.
Us or the wolves? I don't feel great about it. We have no choice.
Need some new clothes.
Something's always lurking, waiting to attack out here. Don't stop to eat, don't stop to sleep.
What's that?
After shit, well... What was that? I'm okay. I'm okay. It's too wet to be outside. Afternoon?
Oh, we really need to clean up around here.
Thanks for the help. Those were some hungry wolves. You could see it in their eyes. If you hadn't showed up, we'd be in real trouble. Now that people have come back to this area, all want to be setting up places like Foundation.
Gotta go to my home. stuff. That's one thing here. Let's now, furniture. Yeah.
There are no seconds in my kitchen. Oops, that wasn't neat. Order up! That wasn't neat. Steady, special request. Do not worry. The knives are sanitized. Deeply. Oops, that wasn't neat. Order up! My parents wanted me to be an auto doc. Four knives means 4 times the efficiency.
2 bullets on Cowboys. Just goes up. Okay, so. Reason why I'm not choosing the 10mm pistols because they is a 10mm pistol. 15 to change that gun.
Over here! Don't... Hey. Tell me you got a stim... Oh, thank God. Thank you. Good to know there's still some heart out there. So, you the cavalry then? Duchess send you to save our tails? Much as I appreciate it, I'm not the one who needs helping right now. See these... me and my bots... But a couple... I heard some fun. And tell her...
Hey! Hey! Someone there? I could use a lift. You are a sight for sore eye. So, those things didn't get you, huh? You happen to see a young man on your way through? Early 20s, rough around the edges, carrying about a bullet's worth of extra lead in him? He's alive? Thank God. That's good to hear. So, what do you say you and I help each other out? You get me back to the Wayward, and I'll help you bake to a crisp anything that bothers us on our way out the door. That's the ticket. Now, let's... You hear that? Sounds like those things have regrouped. How about we make them regret it? Point the way. Ashes to ashes, and dust to dust. So long. Damn. Ammo finally corroded. Wet cave really did a number on it. I'm not going to be much help now.
Okay, one from. Okay, here it goes. Make this. Okay, here's some bread.
Hello, I'm Jade. How are you, Jade?
Oh, dear. Okay. Let's take a leak real quick. So, right now, I'm going to pair this.
You? No. My name is Bob. Bob is here to provide premium cuts of meat. There are no seconds in my kitchen.
I'm going to get ready to gotta prepare my gun. Now, I'm going to prepare this ass whooping.
Automated warning to all responders. Mr. Farnhands are out of control. Evacuate civilians. And take down those supervisors. Once they're dealt with, you'll have to reboot the server. Again. Automated message. The Forest Watch detects all supervisors down. Good job. Responder team, proceed to the Ag Center and get to the mainframe. You need to reset the Farnhand targeting parameters. That should keep our people safe in the area. Be careful.
Scanning for fertilizer.
Overseers, let's call these personal journals. Not an official log. Something. The agricultural center. I was so excited because I used to come to this same farm when I was a kid. I remember one year at the autumn festival, me running through the corn maze, going every which way, Mom and Dad yelling after me to slow down. Wasn't gonna happen.
Hey, Rhoda, two of those guys. They look kind of strong. What do you mean, who? That's literally Frieza. How do you not recognize him? Frieza? Well, dang, I've been banished for so long, I forgot what he looked like.
Attention, citizens. Nuclear strike imminent. Please exit the area at your earliest convenience. Thank you for your cooperation.
Cooler? What's your name? It's Cooler. Yeah, it's not as funny the second time. I asked for a name. No, seriously, I'm Cooler. Yeah, it's not any cooler than an androgynous 4-foot lizard with purple lipstick. But I asked for a name. Did you just call me? Stop names and tell me what your name is, Cooler. Oh, your name is Cooler. Oh, wow, who would have ever guessed? I never knew. Wait, hold on. So I messed up somebody else's name for once? Wow, now I see what you guys do it. That was kind of funny. That's it. Hey, Rhoda, two of those guys. They look kind of strong. What do you mean, who? That's literally Frieza. How do you not recognize him? Frieza? Well, dang, I've been banished for so long, I forgot what he looked like. Well, there's no need for you to feel too bad. That entire planet got banished to the Shadow Realm. But let's not forget about the
All those in the committee who are in favor of Jeff Hardy being an honorary day in this Black History Month, say aye. All opposed? You're right. First time I ever seen him, I said, hey, he invited to the cookout. He's an angel. It's like a hot topic had a and don't get me wrong, we fuck with that Hardy association, though. You understand what I'm talking about? As far as I'm concerned, he never lost. He lost to see him. On second thought, I think that was bad, actually. Why you? But say no, but I'm not gonna put no bread on it. When you tell this nigga's a long time, Bruce Lee. Yeah, fuck, that's how ridiculous. How ridiculous to say that. All those in the community who are in favor of Jeff Hardy being an honorary nigga in this Black History Month, say all opposed?
That was actually pretty cool.
He invited to the cookout. He's an angel. It's like a hot topic had a dance about. Yeah, the crowd. Don't try to swallow. You know how many smart talkers get laid with? And don't get me wrong, we fuck with that Hardy by association, though. Do you understand how tough this nigga was? He had grown men and face painted nails. The niggas don't do that shit. As far as I'm concerned, he never lost. He lost to CM. On second thought, I think that was bad, actually.
That was
Why too? I'ma say no, but I'm not gonna put no bread on it. You know what I'm saying? Top
3 toughest niggas of all time. Bruce Lee, Jeff Hart. That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that. You don't got it, dude.
Auf dem Bord bin ich auch Übergewicht. Können weniger essen, aber... Auf dem Bord bin ich auch Übergewicht. Können weniger essen, aber...
Sit down. We started to Dementor. No. You're not a Dementor. Wizard, I need your help.
There are no wizards or sorcerers here. Listen to me. Your presence it is you who does not belong. Elohim. Ethereal power courses through this place, yet it is unfamiliar. Tell me, does this place exist?
The gods, their powers, each god. Please, you're corrupting. You have to leave. I rich.
If you love hip-hop with a message, this one's for you. Eminem's Mosh wasn't just a song, it was a movement. Let's dive into what made it better. Released just days before the 2004 U.S. presidential election, Mosh showed Eminem.
Nice shirt. Oh, thanks. I have to buy him in bulk. Between the blood stains and the ray gun burns, I go through these things like Joe Kitchen Trent.
You should check out the Boo Franklin line of polo shirts at Eskin.
And no offense, Ash, but S-Mart's not exactly known for quality.
That's the old Eskin. These new Boo shirts have triple stitching around the seams and stained fibers. Alcohol, vomit, blood, it all washes off like water on a goose's butt. Best of all, the Boo Franklin polo shirts are all made right here in the USA, so you don't have to worry about tanking the economy. Nice. Not just nice, smart. Yes, smart.
If your PS5 looks like this,
stop it. You're too loud.
Because this is what PS5 Pro's instead of you play for exactly 2 reasons. This is liquid metal, and besides, co-star,
Gears of War is finally back, and it's where it all started. At the Xbox Showcase 2026, we're going to be getting a deep dive into Gears of War event. This game takes place during the Emergence Day, the moment the Locusts first attacked humanity. You'll be playing the younger Marcus Phoenix before he became the legend that we know of today. Built in Unreal Engine 5, this is said to be a darker, more emotional, and grand Gears story as you've ever seen. Very futuristic armor. Seems like Gears is going to go back to the roots that made it look good, that survival, that chaos, that a coalition is focusing heavily on the narrative and cinematic story this time. If they nail this, this might be the best Gears in years. So my question to you is,
how many heroes can survive Ghost Rider's penance stare? Captain America survives because his soul is pure. He lives his life with 0 regrets or hidden malice. The Punisher walks away unscathed because he truly believes every life he took was deserved. Spider-Man fails instantly as his overwhelming guilt over Uncle Ben and every person he couldn't save provides infinite fuel for the fire. Wolverine's soul is insane. incinerated because centuries of bloodshed and the faces of its victims haunt his mind. Thor survives because his noble warrior spirit and divine heritage place him beyond the reach of a typical mortal soul's transgression. Black Panther withstands the judgment as his actions are always for the greater good of Wakanda. Iron Man fails because his secret keeping and the collateral damage of his past weapons business create a deep well of buried shame. Deadpool survives simply because his mind is too fractured and insane for the penance stare to find a single coherent soul to judge. The Hulk survives always for the greater good of Wakanda. Iron Man fails because his secret keeping and the collateral damage of his past weapons business create a deep well of buried shame. Deadpool survives simply because his always for the greater good of Wakanda. Iron Man fails because his secret keeping and the collateral damage of his past weapons business create a deep well of buried shame. Deadpool survives simply because his mind is too fractured and insane for the penance stare to find a single coherent soul to judge. The Hulk survives because his primal rage acts as a barrier. Daredevil fails as his Catholic guilt and the violent nature of his vigilantism create a perfect storm for a hellfire meltdown. How many heroes can survive Ghost Rider's penance stare? Captain America survives because his soul is pure. He lives his life with zero regrets or hidden malice. The Punisher walks away unscathed because he truly believes every life he took was deserved. Spider-Man fails instantly as his overwhelming guilt over Uncle Ben and every person he couldn't save provides infinite fuel for the fire. Wolverine's soul is incinerated because centuries of bloodshed and the faces of its victims haunt his mind. Thor survives because his noble warriors and divine heritage place him beyond the reach of a typical mortal soul's transgression. Black Panther withstands the judgment as his actions are always for the greater good of Wakanda. Iron Man fails because his secret keeping and the collateral damage of his past weapons business create a deep well of buried shame. Deadpool survives simply because his mind is too fractured and insane for the penance stare to find a single coherent soul to judge. The Hulk survives because his primal rage acts as a barrier. Daredevil fails as his Catholic guilt and the violent nature of his vigilantism create a perfect storm for a hellfire meltdown. How many heroes can survive Ghost Rider's penance stare? Captain America survives because his soul is pure. His life with zero regrets or hidden malice. The Punisher walks away unscathed because he truly believes every life he took was deserved. Spider-Man fails instantly as his overwhelming guilt over Uncle Ben and every person he couldn't save provides infinite fuel for the fire. Wolverine's soul is incinerated because centuries of bloodshed and the faces of its victims haunt his mind. Thor survives because his noble warrior spirit and divine heritage place him beyond the reach of a typical mortal soul's transgression. Black Panther withstands the judgment as his actions are always for the greater good of Wakanda. Iron Man fails because his secret keeping and the collateral damage of his past weapons business create a deep well of buried shame. Deadpool survives simply because his mind is too fractured and insane for the penance stare to find a single coherent soul to judge. The Hulk survives because his primal rage acts as a barrier. Daredevil fails as his Catholic guilt and the violent nature of his vigilantism create a perfect storm for a hellfire.
What's the most aggressive and threatening voice line you've ever heard it came to? For me, it's engineers. Or medics. I'm going to saw through your balls. Okay, for me personally, it's as promise. Okay, let's see top comments. I'm gonna kind of smile at you. I'm gonna carve you a new cake. Oh, what? I'm gonna carve you a new cake. Oh, I'm gonna stick me thumbs in your eyes and hang on till you're dead. I didn't even know that existed. I'm gonna stick me thumbs in your eyes and hang on till you're dead. Oh, it's a dual accept voice line. Anyone still alive has let me down. Anyone still alive has let me down. And you have 30 seconds to live. You have 30 seconds to live. Okay, these are all crazy, and I didn't know a single one of them. What's the most aggressive and... You pack quite a punch. Nice. Not bad yourself.
Hello, Batman?
Oh, man.
My name's Oracle. Batman's not here right now, but I'd be happy to help you find Black Manta. How did you? Knowing things is my job. Do you know where Black Manta is? Looks like he was last seen at the docks. I've got a ride coming for you. Follow the lights out of the back cave and we'll make sure you get where you need to go. Came expecting an irate Batman. Got a helpful green lady on the computer instead. This night might be looking up. We've still got comms, just so you know. Wish you'd told me that earlier. Okay, Oracle, now what? Incoming in 3, 2, 1. Hey man, Batwing has your service. We'll get you to the docks in no time. Are you gonna help with the search? I've got my own cases to work tonight. But don't worry, I'm leaving you in capable hands. Yo, we hear you've got a Black Mamba problem. Manta. Tomato, tomato. Batwing said you could help. If Black Manta was here...
The surveillance shows Black Manta was at the docks 20 minutes ago. He met a well-known associate of Black Mask, aka Roman Sionis, as part of an arms deal. We don't have a visual of Manta leaving the site, but we can extrapolate 3 likely exit routes. 1, the harbor. 2, I'll check the waters. No, wait!
What did you people do to that water?
Yeah, I tried to warn you. Gotham water is... Well, I'm not technically sure you can call it water anymore. You know, between all the Joker venom and Scarecrow toxin and the pollution and sometimes I think Poison Ivy is right about us.
If Manta went that way, I must as well.
But he didn't. What I was trying to tell you is that we're pretty sure we already know where Manta is heading, and we have a plan in place to stop him.
If your plan gets me out of this city faster, then let's do it.
Probably. You're just in time for a demonstration. Now! Some of my finest work, if I do say so myself.
And you are?
Just a girl with too many tasers and too much time on her hands. Anything else we can help you with?
Only if it's a ride out of the city. Thank you for your help.
Anytime, your imperial fishiness.
No. Just no. I was in Gotham, I know. So, all those times you said you worked alone, just stay out of my city.
Undertaker, the Rock says you come on out here. And whether you come out as the American badass, as the Lord of Darkness, or the Lord of Monkey Piss, it doesn't matter to the Rock to rip and turn the
Who the hell are you to call me out?
Back at long last. But
High school,
where's our girl?
Did you find Polly?
What? I was helping these roads, and I was going to
Oh, God.
I told you.
Polly?
Whoa.
Don't piss me off.
You're not looking so great, darling.
Duchess, I'm not feeling great.
That pissed
Friend,
me off.
why don't you settle
all
down?
the eyebrows you want. You can talk about all the monkey's nipples you want.
Jug
and
should do the trick.
besides about shoving things up people's asses. I don't give a damn.
This is real
I just hope
snug.
that you can back in to smack
That's
your
not
mouth
gonna
spewing
do
out. Although I don't dress like Satan anymore, I'm
This is
still
all my
down
fault.
with the devil.
So,
And I will
no.
do evil on your ass.
Don't you dare. This is
In this
not...
movie, Jackie Chan was getting beat up for real, and there was nothing he could do about
Tell me
it.
you
On the
want
set of
to
Wheels on Meals, he went up against the undefeated world champion Benny Urquidez. The fool was in shock, and the tension was off the charts. Benny just didn't know how to pull his punches for the camera.
There's a robotic
Have you ever
shop
wondered
over in Summersville
which
that-
dinosaurs were the most ferocious hunters? Here are the top 5. Number 5, Velociraptor, small, fast, and deadly in packs. Number 4, Allosaurus, a powerful predator of the Jurassic period. Number 3, Spinosaurus, huge, and hunted both land and water.
Please say
2,
yes.
Giganotosaurus, even bigger than T-Rex, and incredibly dangerous. And number 1, Tyrannosaurus Rex, the king of predators, with one of the strongest bites ever, like share.
And here,
idiot to say
we need
how.
this to get into the place. Just leave it unlocked so we can come
An
and get
idiot
it
to say how.
and make sure it's pristine. No damage, no reprogramming.
You know that I can fit a really large vehicle.
You said this woman outran everyone, right?
Don't want anything going wrong in the transfer.
Okay, check out this footwork. She is really booking it.
And at the risk of sounding like a broken
This one
record.
is a serious runner.
Thank you. We'll all owe you big after this.
Look at these impressions. He was wearing track spikes. Since the spikes are all clustered up at the front, our killer was also... So her speed and how much ground she covered, I'm guessing 11 seconds in the 100, give or take?
D1 speed. No wonder no one caught her.
Yeah, and look at this. Her shoes are custom colors.
Yeah, red with a black heel stripe. That's St. Emily's Women's College. They have a D1 track and field team. My ex went there. She was a big runner. Ran far away from commitment.
Yeah, I just checked their roster. Only one sprinter there clocks an 11-second 100. Arden Prescott. Let's pay a little visit to St. Emily, see if we can track her down.
Track her down.
You can do this all day?
I'll stop.
It's for the best. Which one is it? Yeah, I'll have to meet you there.
She had the bolt.
You said this woman had one day?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, check out this footwork. She is really booking it. This one is a serious runner. He was wearing track spikes, and since the spikes are all clustered up at the front, our killer was also sprinting. Based on her speed and how much ground she covered, I'm guessing 11 seconds in the 100, give or take?
D1 speed. No wonder no one caught her.
Yeah, look at this. Her shoes are custom colored.
Did you know? Godzilla is definitely not the only one in the monsterverse. 3 of them actually exist. The first one is our most familiar face. This creature is no god. This titan is a lonely survivor tortured by trauma. Surviving the ancient war against Kong species alongside endless hunting from the Mutos left Godzilla with no kind. That roar hides no justice. That sound is pure, uncontrollable rage. Godzilla acts like a ticking nuclear bomb. Only Mothra can pull this beast back from the edge of destruction. The second one, Dagon, wasn't so lucky. Dagon might be older than Godzilla. This ancient titan lost a life-or-death battle. Remember that massive skeleton humans found inside the mine? That wasn't some past version of Godzilla. That is Dagon. Muto Prime brutally killed Dagon. The titan's massive body got hollowed. Did you know?
Choose a potion that will give you an incredible power, but the side effect is hidden.
All right.
Potion 1, super speed. Okay. You become faster than any human alive.
Yeah, I'm taking up. Wait.
Potion 2, unlimited wealth.
Oh, give me potion 2. Give me potion 2.
Potion 3, mutation power. Evolve beyond the limits.
Okay, that's tempting. That's very tempting.
Potion 4, mind treated.
Oh, heck no.
Hear every thought around you.
Go crazy.
Potion is price. Super speed. You age 10 times faster. Everyone you love slowly forgets you have mutation. But you slowly stop being. Don't. Turn the voices off.
What do you think the Mercs would be doing in 2026? So Scout would be around 81 years old. Probably he's just a funny grandpa for what is probably around like 20 or so grandchildren, because he had like 7 children himself in the comics. Look here, this is a page from the TF2 comics. A lot of kids. Even though Soldier would be around 102 years old, there's this page in the TF2 6. So Scout would be around 81 years old. Probably he's just a funny grandpa for what is probably around like 20 or so grandchildren. He had like 7 children himself in the comics. Look here, this is a page from the TF2 comics. A lot of kids. Even though Soldier would be around 102 years old. There's this page in the TF2 comics where it showed that Soldier ate an entire bottle of Kill Me Come Back Stronger pills. Soldier might very well be alive and very, very strong. And just be doing soldier things like teleporting bread and iron. Spyro would also be about 100 years old, and I would guess with the life he's lived, probably dead before reaching 100. Demoman probably dead from all the alcohol, like, related stuff. Maybe he's got a new liver. You know, he'd also be like 90 years old or something, so maybe a very sleepy grandpa at this point, who's also always drunk. Heavy would also be like around 100 years. I would say he's maybe alive in like some cottage in the wilderness, just living on his own his last 2-3 years that he's got left before he dies. Engineer would also be like around 100 years old. And from all the alcohol, like, where it showed that Soldier ate an entire bottle of Kill Me Come Back Stronger pills. Soldier might very well be alive and very, very strong. And just be doing soldier things like teleporting bread. I think we're teleporting bread with Raiden. Spyro would also be about 100 years old, and I would guess with the life he's lived, probably dead before reaching 100. Demoman probably dead from all the alcohol, like, related stuff. Maybe he's got a new liver. You know, he'd also be like 90 years old or something, so maybe a very sleepy grandpa at this point, who's also always drunk. Heavy would also be like around 100 years. I would say he's maybe alive in like some cottage in the wilderness, just living on his own his last 2-3 years that he's got left before he dies. Engineer would also be like around 100 years old. He's alive because he kept himself alive somehow with engineering. Maybe he stole just a little bit of Australia. You know, there's this comic panel where he says, well, this here's the last bit of Australia on Earth, madam. My guess is there...
was a little bit more and he stole it for himself. Medic. Medic would also be around 100 years. Medic stole all the souls from the mercenaries and made a deal with the devil so he gets more life on Earth. But we own all of your soul. You sold it to us.
Ah, yes, originally this was the case, but you see, I've since surgically added 8 more. However, I do concede that with 1/9 ownership, you have certainly earned a seat on the board of directors of my souls. So let's put it to a vote. Who thinks I should go to hell? Satan. Raise his hand. Excellent. So that's 1 vote for hell and 8 for heaven. If you could call me a car, if you were to send me back to Earth, say for another 50 years, well, you're a clever man. You tempted me once after all. I'm sure you'll figure out a way to trick me out of my 8 other souls. In fact, that is a lovely looking pen.
Looking at each other.
I said that's a lovely looking pen.
Would you give me a soul for this? I would. There it is. Sniper would be around 84, at least according to his post. If he's still got steady hands, he's still sniping, because sniping's a good job, right? But if not, then he must have retired. And is maybe living on a farm in Australia somewhere. And finally, Spy. Seeing as he's Scout's father, and Scout would already be about 81, my best guess, Spy would be dead. Unfortunate, but that's how time works. Rest in peace, Spy. You will be missed. What do you think the mercs would...
People treat Master Roshi like he's just the old comic relief of Dragon Ball, but when you actually think about it, his longevity is insane. Roshi is ancient, and by the time Goku meets him, Roshi is already over 300 years old, and he's been a martial arts legend that entire time. He trained under Mutaito, the same master who sealed King Piccolo with the evil containment wave. He destroys the moon in early Dragon Ball. He trains the next generation of fighters. Decades later, he's still stepping into battle. And what's really crazy is that during the Tournament of Power, Roshi fights warriors from other universes and survives purely on technique and experience alone, with no real transformations or no god forms that we haven't seen before from him, just fundamentals. That's why Roshi matters. He isn't the strongest fighter in Dragon Ball. He's proof that mastery lasts longer than power. People treat Master Roshi like he's just the old comic relief of Dragon Ball, but when you actually think about it, his longevity is insane. Roshi is ancient, and by the time Goku meets him, Roshi is already over 300 years old, and has been a martial arts legend that entire time. He trained under Mutaito, the same master who sealed King Piccolo with the evil containment wave. He destroys the moon in early Dragon Ball. He trains the next generation of fighters, and decades later, he's still stepping into battle. And what's really crazy is that during the Tournament of Power, Roshi fights warriors from other universes, and survives purely on technique and experience alone, with no real transformations or no god forms that we haven't seen before from him, just fundamentals. That's why Roshi matters. He isn't the strongest fighter in Dragon Ball. He's proof that mastery lasts longer than power. People treat Master Roshi like he's just...
You'll bring your sargass out here.
Is Grimlock really just a silly-looking dinosaur? In fact, as the leader of the Dinobots, Grimlock is not only powerful, but also well-versed in human relations. In his dinosaur form, he may seem simple-minded, but he is actually quite shrewd. In Transformers: The Last Knight, in order to have enough to keep...
Well now, what do we have here?
Stealing the sheriff's
Are you
police
another
car
ghost?
really annoyed Cade. When Cade confronted him, Grimlock
cannot
hid the police
bring you
car
the
beside
peace
his
you
mouth,
require,
and then
Spirit.
feigned innocence, perfectly covering up his little act. Is Grimlock really...
Alright, class, I'm gonna trick you on view today. Who would win in the fight? 100 gamers or 1 gorilla? And what kind of gamers are they? That's a good question.
Must we, Spirit?
Choose the outcome.
Well,
it's Fortnite gamers. They'll just game out until the gorilla
Assaultrons are military-grade hardware.
Call of Duty
As such,
gorilla will rip each of their heads off.
Well, they try to figure out how to get hacks in real life. So the better push would be a group of 100 gamers would be able to beat the gorilla. I think Minecraft players would find a way to trap the gorilla. And either leave it to waste away into nothing more than skin and bones. Is that so? Or they can try punching it 100,000 times from above to keep changing its aggro until it goes down. All right, Minecraft gamers will take W. For us,
Why do you post
No,
every
you
day
ain't
when you
going.
barely get...
It's just taking too much
Gamers
time.
would never
We need these guys
survive
to go
in
down
the
now.
world.
On it to keep that shield up. Those were in your belt the whole time? Chat later. You have a job to do. Ring power's pretty low. Will you have enough for the fight? I'll be fine. Awesome. Hungry bears. Just what this day needed. I'll cover you with my ring. I think we can get by without hurting them. Save what power you have left. I can take care of the bears with some of these fish treats. As soon as I have them distracted, make your move. Why would you even have those? That is so specific. Just be ready. Duck. No sign of these things stopping. Think you might need a better weapon, Bats. Agreed. Keep moving. Seriously? You sure about this? Aquaman said something about bloodthirsty sharks. If you need me to cover you, you have your own part to play. I can handle this. Right. I'm sure you'll just...
You know, please don't scroll. I'm just trying to be calm. No! All this is pro Trump, pro Iran.
From what? He went out when? Friday. Today's Friday. Last Friday. It took a week? Not bad, right? Wrong. Lightweight. Whoa! Millennials are heavyweight because all your metabolism stopped. That's rude. True. But rude. Now listen here, Peppa Pig. We millennials came up in the crunk era. We were slugging down 4 locos back when at least 3 of the locos were definitely illegal substances. Well, at least we don't need a week plus to recover. It's just if y'all sip seltzies and stand around staring at the DJ like you're about to order off the dollar menu. A millennial pregame goes harder than a Gen Z party. We ain't new to this, we true to this. So you're coming back out tonight? No. I'm gonna put some heat on my back and watch Unsolved Mysteries. I'm in on that. From what? He went out when? Friday. Today's Friday. Last Friday. It took a week? Not bad, right? Wrong. Lightweight. Millennials are heavyweight because all your metabolism stopped. That's rude. True. But rude. Now listen here, Peppa Pig. We millennials came up in the crunk era. We were slugging down 4 locos back when at least 3 of the locos were definitely illegal substances. Well, at least we don't need a week plus to recover. It's just because y'all sip seltzies and stand around staring at the DJ like you're about to order off the dollar menu. A millennial pregame goes harder than a Gen Z party. We ain't new to this, we true to this. So you're coming back out to me? Yeah. I'm gonna put some heat on my back and watch Unsolved Mysteries. Ooh, I'm in on this.
People are finding out that Soul Eater was created by Shinra from Fire Forest, but a lot of people are confused. So, how did this come to be? Long before the events of Soul Eater or even Fire Force, there was the Great Cataclysm. This was an event where the entire planet was turned into the sun, with humanity being a race centered around Japan due to their atheistic nature and their lack of belief in God. You see, in the Soul Eater universe, every time a cataclysm happens, which happened in Fire Force, the entire series is changed dimensionally. See, the anime and manga go into this by telling us that the real world was actually fake, and that humans were turned into anime characters. Yeah, you heard that correct. Evangelist who started the cataclysm was able to manipulate humanity because a lack of belief in God leads to an increased amount of despair, and this was the center of Adola.
until the plans failed. This was due to the fact that they did not have enough pillars, which are presented throughout the series of Fire Force, that represent different concepts and negative emotions throughout humanity, which each embodying their different things and how they function throughout the universe. Becoming Shimura Bancho Man, he becomes God, returning spirituality back to humanity, not only bringing them back to life, but allowing them to use the spiritual power that they've lost within themselves. After doing so, to prevent himself to turning to madness, which is something you guys might recognize from your favorite character, Krona, and to also prevent himself from ever having
Signal's
another
coming through
Noah
loud and
incident,
clear.
he creates the lights of
You know,
heaven.
I don't throw the word hero around a lot. Come over here and let's discuss, huh?
The likes of the Soul Eater universe, he will no longer have
No,
reason to despair. And then he creates the likes of Gatling Kid within Shiver's image as the boy who saved the world.
Now that's what I like to hear. Seriously, thank you for sticking your neck out for me.
It's true. You've worked real hard putting things right for us. None of us are going to forget what you've done. But that really just leaves one last topic for us to discuss, doesn't it? Crane. You ready to listen? I'm just warning you, I can't guarantee you're going to be happy with what I'm about to say.
What is this? I'm a gate. And she cannot stand before us and speak of the atonement. Sarah is always among the best of us, yet here you stand in her place. Punishment is due. For the killing of a fellow negotiator. For the sin of pride that led to this death.
All right, then.
Follow
me.
You are dead.
So, I've known where Crane is. I know where his treasure is. But, well, there's a problem.
You will know pain for your transgressions. You praise him. You're here.
Honey, you awake? You want to give him a little nudge?
It's not himself right now, that's it. Lately, he just hasn't been very easy. That's the problem, James. It's because you're not good, Lucy. Right here. Can't find your inner Lucy again. So, take that.
That's all he says anymore. Boy, is he over.
Jesus, Duchess. That thing's been up here the whole time?
That thing is Crane, Solomon.
Build a car
And what
worth
exactly
more
would
than
you have liked me to do with him?
1,200 credits.
Put it out of its misery. Those things are killers, Duchess.
Drops. This might be difficult.
Paul and I have the scars to prove it.
I don't recall yielding the floor to debate here. You'll agree with me, don't you?
Floods in Hawaii. Real Hawaiian roller coaster ride. There's massive delays at LaGuardia. Stopping them because a plane crashed on the runway. That is, and now there's ice all over the airport. That explains the crash. Jesus Christ. Did you hear about Florida? What now? They lost to Iowa. My bracket's busted. Well, I guess there really has been some March madness. Get it? Because of the bad stuff and the basketball stuff.
That person is fucking dangerous. And those things, they nearly killed Polly and I once. I can't let that happen to the rest of them. I promise. I'll do it with
In Living
dignity.
Color that turned out to be true. 8. Jamie Foxx joined in Living Color in Season 3 as a replacement for departing stars like Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans, quickly creating his iconic Wanda character within his first week. 7. Jennifer Lopez was only a backup choice for the Fly Girls, returning after another dancer dropped out. Clashes with choreographer Rosie Perez pushed her to leave and pursue acting. 6. Jim Carrey nearly got seriously injured during a Fireman Bill stunt when a falling safe malfunctioned. but he stayed in character and used the real shock to enhance the scene. 5. Keenan Ivory Wayans often ignored network censorship rules, leading Fox to fine the show heavily, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars per episode, for unauthorized jokes. 4. Homie D. Clown was inspired by real ex-convicts Damon Wayans knew, reflecting their frustration with low-status jobs and using humor to express deeper social anger. 3. At the height of success, Keenan Ivory Wayans abruptly quit the show over creative conflicts with Fox, taking key cast members with him and leaving the final season noticeably different. 2. Chris Rock was rejected from the cast early on because producers felt his stand-up style didn't fit, though he later appeared in the final season as a guest. 1. Jim Carrey's exaggerated facial expressions in Fireman Bill helped convince filmmakers he could perform The Mask without heavy CGI, launching his movie career.
Did Crane lure those damn things here when he found the cash?
Suppose we don't need to feel so bad anymore.
Solomon, too damn soon.
Sorry.
Now, this cash. I tried to check it out myself, but I didn't get real far. You're already intimately acquainted with Gawley, so I suspect you've got the best shot at actually laying hands on whatever's in there. So, here are my terms. I will let you keep said map and access card. No strings attached. As payment for everything you've done for us. But I need your word you'll come back.
You know Dana White once called the FBI on one of his fighters because when this Armenian fighter was scheduled to fight on UFC Apex, he was a 4-1 favorite. But the day before his fight, somebody had placed a 6-figure bet on him to get choked out in the first round.
Our lawyer called the fighter and his lawyers early and warmed up and said there's some irregular betting going on you right now. Are you hurt? Do you owe anybody money? They said, fuck no. What? This is weird. No, absolutely not. I'm going to kill this guy. So we said, okay. So we let the fight go.
But that turned out to be a huge mistake, because when the fight started, Isaac instantly shot for a takedown, and after they scrambled for a while, his opponent took his back and put up a rear naked choke that he couldn't defend.
And then we're sitting there, and I'm like, he's got him in the fucking rear naked choke. Fucking fight's off, and my chief operating goes, motherfucker. I literally went in the back and called the FBI.
Do you know Dana White once called the FBI on one of his fighters? Because when this Armenian fighter was scheduled to fight on UFC Apex, he was a 4-1 favorite. But the day before his fight, somebody had placed a 6-figure bet on him.
All gone.
I dropped my hot pocket.
I'll be fine. Just lucky for me, but thank you for that. Good luck.
Shit!
Yes?
William, right back.
Oh, fucking do it again.
Alright, today's my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Sandra. Almost forgot about it. Almost forgot it was your birthday.
Sorry. Your birthday's on the 30th, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I did that. I was just making sure.
I just had to call you. Almost forgot it was your birthday.
You called me. I think you were going to be right. But I feel like in a meeting, so I couldn't get back to you. Like I said,
I understand.
I'm just waiting on that.
Okay. I just called. Yeah. I just came to call to see how you doing.
Oh, it's your son?
Okay. You have a nice day, sis.
Bye.
Computer activated to assessment matrix. You can make it do all kinds of stuff. You can play safe. You can. Oh, no, let it go. Let it be. Let it be.
Attention! This is Grafton's mayor hailing you from lovely downtown Grafton. If I'm sounding crabby, it's because giant crab creatures are swarming all over our picturesque lake. I'm looking for a few brave souls to play exterminator. Stop them from getting to the island. We can't have them brooding.
What have you done with Flash?
Batman got him. Please don't kill me, evil Wonder Woman. Oh, he found me. He just came off my leg.
Amanda Waller. Unfortunately, you're damaging Argus property.
This is some bullshit. The Wonder Woman shirt last Christmas.
You have no authority to leave. Take your criminals with you.
Should have. Assessment matrix. Some guys haven't seen a bad computer. You can make it do all kinds of stuff. You can play safe. You can.
Where the hell?
This is my sister.
I need a tampon.
What?
Her designation is Jane 771.
I never knew you had a sister.
She technically doesn't exist. Agent of Oni.
Like it.
Office of Naval Intelligence, dummy.
Excuse me?
Rita's father, shipmaster, delivered to the grave line. We were last seen singing Bye 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 to a squad of Greeks before sacrificing them to the flood.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Hungry. So you're a spy.
Yes. I know what you did last summer, Libby.
By the rings.
What did he do?
Please don't tell them, I beg you.
Call me Mommy.
What?
Call me Mommy, or I tell them everything, including the bagel.
Please, Mom, don't tell them. I'll be a good boy, I promise.
Good boy.
What could Arby have possibly done with a bagel?
I have a videotape of it if you got...
I'll spoil Requiem real quick if you have
The legendary swordsman Miyamoto Musashi never expected it. After he killed Rip the KO, more and more challengers would come seeking him out. Among them was a kendo master who had held the championship title for 6 consecutive years. Yet Miyamoto defeated him with a single strike. The man's bamboo sword split in two. His entire body convulsed as if struck by lightning. The pain was unbearable, and he soon lost consciousness. Miyamoto's only comment about the fight was that the bamboo sword was well made. Shibukawa witnessed the scene. As a top karate master, his desire to fight ignited instantly. He requested to shake hands with Miyamoto, but the moment their palms touched, Miyamoto immediately sensed something was wrong. The next second, his whole body shook violently. Under Shibukawa's gaze, Miyamoto collapsed to the ground. No one had expected that Shibukawa could push Miyamoto to such an extent with just one hand. Then Shibukawa delivered a punch to Miyamoto's head. The strike was so strong that Miyamoto's nose began to bleed instantly. Shibukawa's goal was to avenge the fallen Retsu KO, but Miyamoto, though feeling the pain, was not angry. Instead, he became deeply fascinated by Shibukawa's technique. He had never imagined that his own prideful strength could be so easily restrained. It was as if he were facing a massive boulder. Karate, as it turned out, did not exist since ancient times. 200 years ago, the government issued a ban on swords. Swordsmen, stripped of their weapons, developed karate, a skill that allowed a smaller person to instantly subdue an opponent 3 times their size. And now, the genius of karate was Master Shibukawa. Just as Shibukawa was reveling in his advantage, Miyamoto struck his head. Yet the attack came through sheer willpower. Miyamoto radiated an intense, terrifying aura. Shibukawa broke into a cold sweat, feeling as though he faced an erupting volcano. Suddenly, Miyamoto launched an attack. Shibukawa screamed in pain, as if cut by a What the?
Uh-oh, he found it. Did you do this? Did what? Why is my violin wrapped in packing tape? Looks fine to me. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to tell me why you did this. 1, I mean, it's bold of you to assume. 2, now, hold on. Why would you think it was me? 3, okay. Remember a few days ago when you said something was wrong with your violin, but you didn't know what? Yeah, well, I figured it was because your violin was being transparent. That's funny. Really? So, you're not mad? Oh, no. I'm still gonna kill you. What the? You found it. Did you do this? Did what? Why is my violin wrapped in packing tape? Looks fine to me. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to tell me why you did this. 1, I mean, it's bold of you to assume. 2, now, hold on. Why would you think it was me? 3, okay. Remember a few days ago when you said something was wrong with your violin, but you didn't know what? Yeah, well, I figured it was because your violin was being transparent. That's funny. Really? So, you're not mad? Oh, no. I'm still gonna kill you. What the? Uh-oh, you found it. Did you do this? Did what? Why is my violin wrapped in packing tape? Looks fine to me. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to tell me why you did this. 1, I mean, it's bold of you to assume. 2, now, hold on. Why would you think it was me? 3, okay. Remember a few days ago when you said something was wrong with your violin, but you didn't know what? Yeah, well, I figured it was because your violin wasn't being transparent. That's funny. Really? So, you're not mad? Oh, no. I'm still gonna kill you. What the? Uh-oh, he found it. Did you do this? Did what? Why is my violin wrapped in packing tape? Looks fine to me. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to tell me why you did this. 1, I mean, it's bold of you to assume. 2, now, hold on. Why would you think it was me? 3, okay. Remember a few days ago when you said something was wrong with your violin?
10 best WWE underdogs. 10. Crash Holly. Despite his small size, Crash Holly became the most successful hardcore champion in WWE history. His speed and creativity helped him outsmart much bigger opponents. 9. Barry Horowitz. A career joke whose role was to lose. Horowitz shocked fans in 1995 by defeating Chris Candido. The upset briefly made him a beloved underdog.
And recently not so young, men and women of America.
Originally a nameless jobber called the Kid, he's
the rank of
biggest upsets by
This is your official Pioneer Scout uniform. Keep it clean and wear it with
often
pride.
overlooked by
Now go forth, my
built a huge following through his YouTube show.
Get to work
Famous
on those
sport eventually led to a United States Championship run.
determination.
6. Stevenson was the underdogs of the underground. Zayn built his career on persistence. His emotional NXT Championship win over Neville became a defining moment. 5. Often underestimated because of his size, Guerrero used his lie, cheat, and steal persona to succeed, famously defeating Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. 4. Jeff Hardy. Not seen as a powerhouse, he relied on fearless high-risk moves. His ladder match with The Undertaker cemented his reputation. 3. Rey Mysterio. Despite constant doubts about his size, Mysterio became a multi-time world champion and won the 2006 Royal Rumble. 2.
Recently not so young,
Atlanta
men
B-plus
and
player.
women of America. You are hereby assigned the rank of tadpole. This is your official Pioneer Scout uniform. Keep it clean.
Champion. And his WWE title victory on Raw remains one of wrestling's most beloved underdog moments. 10 best
Will still drive system. So I'll crush him this time. Don't fear my no endlessly feet. You'll stay at my side where I can see all the things. Now, this prey requires a experience. Step in close.
I look forward to what my collection.
That really is a true powerhouse starts up. Jet Li is comfortable. Jet Li knows more martial arts than anybody you've ever seen on film. That dude, if we want to compare it to, like, say, gymnastics, Jet Li is not only the tumbling champion, but the rings champion. Jet Li knows so many styles within the Kung Fu system and has won
national world titles doing several different styles, which is unusual. He knows so many styles and mastered them since he was a child. The people that you see in the Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, those are usually members of the Asian culture. They're the primo. They're the dream team of martial arts. They transition to so he was arts. It's not fighting. He told himself he wouldn't know how to fight anybody. Jackie Chan probably would be able to fight a little bit. There's things about Jackie Chan that I would say he probably would be able to fight him too. Jet Li is classically trained. He's not a fighter. It's different. Jet Li knows more martial arts than anybody you've ever seen on film. That dude, if we want to compare it to, like, say, gymnastics, Jet Li is not only the tumbling champion, but the rings champion. Jet Li knows so many styles within the Kung Fu system and has won national world titles doing several different styles, which is unusual. He knows so many styles and mastered them since he was a child. The people that you see in the Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, those are usually members of the Beijing community. Of martial arts. They transition. So he technically knows more arts, but it's not fighting. It's not fighting. He tells himself he wouldn't know how to fight anybody. He probably would be able to fight a little bit. There's things about Jackie Chan that I would say he probably
Didn't want to use it in battle till I was sure it was...
A scientist sits in his lab working on an experiment when the door suddenly opens and a tall, hard-nosed man enters. The scientist hastily stands up and salutes the general who oversees the scientist's entire program. The general dispenses with formalities and tells the scientist that he's being assigned to something new. Before the scientist can even ask what it is he'll be working on, the general gives a small wave of his hand, and two soldiers appear in the doorway. They are each holding the side of a large metal box, and from the strained expression on their faces, it's clear that the box is very heavy. They set the box down on the scientist's heavy wooden desk with a loud thud before stepping away from it. The scientist looks over the bulky lead case that's been brought to him, no idea what could be waiting inside. Be very careful with this, the general says, before handing a folder full of papers to the scientist. The scientist, unsure of how to respond, moves his hand to salute the general, but he has already turned on his heel and started to exit the small lab, followed closely behind by the two soldiers. The scientist looks over the folder that was given to him. There's nothing on the cover, so he opens it and starts looking inside, skimming over the long, dry paragraphs that say nothing at all and seem to be included in every government report for some reason. Ah, there it is. Contents. 1 6.2 kilogram sphere of plutonium-239. Plutonium-239? He's been doing research in this Army-run research lab for some time and knows exactly what this is. A sphere of plutonium-239 can only be one thing. A core for a new atomic bomb. Two were already dropped on the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and their never-before-seen power caused death and destruction on a truly horrendous level. But they had also helped to put an end to the Second World War, potentially saving the lives of thousands or even millions more. And no matter what moral questions he had about it, this was his job. And as an expert in physics and chemistry, his research would potentially help put a stop to fighting in the future. After all, no one would dare go to war when they knew there were weapons that could cause devastation on this scale, right? The scientist pores over the typewritten fragments, reading each and every handwritten note in the margins. As he reads through them, he sees warnings about the experiments from the report's unnamed author. There are references to how slim the safety margins are when handling the material for testing. Since the core is intended to be used in a new nuclear weapon, it needs to be right on the edge of supercriticality, the point where fissile material undergoes a chain reaction that is key to nuclear detonations. The report then describes an experiment where the core was to be surrounded with bricks made of tungsten carbide that would act as a mirror of sorts, bouncing neutrons back at the core, which would knock loose other neutrons. The experiment was to be stopped before the core went supercritical, but when the scientist turns the page to view the results, he finds nothing. There's no more pages in the folder. The scientist had heard rumors about these types of experiments, tickling the dragon's tail, they called it. But where were the rest of the reports? Was this really the last experiment that was done? He sees at the top of the page that this last experiment was performed over a year ago. Just then, the scientist notices someone walking by in the hall. It's the general. He runs out into the hallway, waving the report at him. General. The general stops and turns around, clearly annoyed at being intercepted while on the way from one important meeting to another. General, what happened in the last experiment? The general somehow looks even more annoyed by the question. Don't worry about it, he barks back at the scientist. His time on the project was finished. It's yours now. And with that, the general leaves the scientist standing in the hall with his incomplete file. Days pass, and the scientist receives additional orders on what types of experiments he should be carrying out. All of them are designed to guarantee that the core of plutonium will be suitable for use in a new weapon. For the latest test, he's performing an experiment not dissimilar to the last one described in the report, but instead of using tungsten carbide bricks to reflect neutrons back to the core and achieve criticality, a beryllium dome had been created, which is to be lowered down over the sphere of plutonium. As he lowers the dome, he knows that if it were to close completely, it would cause the core to go supercritical in an instant. In order to prevent this, he uses a screwdriver to prop up one side of the dome, allowing just enough neutrons to escape so that the core can maintain its stability. As he lowers the dome just a small amount more, he starts to hear something. It's a faint noise at first, but gradually grows more and more audible. Radioactivity produces no sound, so the scientist is confused, especially since it sounds like the noise is coming from inside the dome. Surely that's impossible. There were no processes happening within that should be creating any sort of noise. The scientist bends down, lifts up the edge of the dome ever so slightly more, just enough so that he can peek inside. As he does, the sound grows louder. He looks right into the core of plutonium-239 and sees something. There is movement on the sphere. He knows this is impossible, but he can see them with his own eyes. Images dancing on the surface of the plutonium sphere. They were faces, unnatural faces, contorted and twisted in pain. He can see now that these are the source of the sound he was hearing, because the faces are screwed. The scientist jumps back, and the screwdriver slips away from the edge of the beryllium dome, allowing it to fall and completely cover plutonium. Out in the hallway, a security guard covers his eyes, momentarily blinded by the flash of intense blue light. When his vision returns, he runs into the laboratory it came from. The exposed sphere of plutonium sits on the desk, and the security guard looks up to see that the dome that once covered it has been embedded into the ceiling. He hears a moan come from the other side of the desk and rushes around to help the scientist. When he looks down at the ground, he doesn't see a man. Lying there on the floor is a charred and bloody body, the small amount of skin and flesh that is left sloughing off his body. The scientist reaches toward him with a skeletal hand, emitting one final groan before collapsing. Nuclear weapons have claimed many lives, not just those who suffered directly from their overwhelming destructive energy or the subsequent residual radiation known as fallout, but many of those who researched and developed the science and technology behind them also became victims of their incredible, almost otherworldly power. Today's anomaly is an example of exactly that, combining the astonishing power of nuclear weapons with the world of the supernatural. This is SCP-095-FR, the Demon Core. SCP-095-FR is a 6.2 kilogram sphere, 89 millimeters in diameter, that is composed entirely of plutonium-239. Despite at one point seeming to be a normal sphere of the plutonium isotope, SCP-095-FR now seems to be in a permanent, self-sustaining state of criticality. This results in a near-constant emission of alpha radiation, which is powerful enough to damage any electrical circuits within a 20-meter radius. The sphere's danger grows the closer you get to it, too. Within a 10-meter radius, any living tissue will become extremely irradiated, leading to radiation sickness, while denser materials like metal or bone will themselves become extremely radioactive. The plutonium sphere is somehow able to maintain a consistent mass, despite its state, which should lead to a decrease in overall mass. It's theorized that it may be undergoing some sort of regenerative process, though it's been impossible to determine just how this might be occurring. SCP-095-FR was recovered from the seafloor near Bikini Atoll, which was the site of a series of nuclear weapon tests by the United States government known as Operation Crossroad. These and later tests, including the Castle Bravo test, resulted in the island chain becoming extremely irradiated, and many of the island's residents soon showed signs of acute radiation scrutiny, leading to much of the indigenous population being forced to relocate. Following the Operation Crossroad test, an anomalously high source of radiation was detected in the sea. Though records are incomplete, it appears that more plutonium that had been responsible for the deaths of multiple scientists somehow ended up on the ocean floor. Whether it got there due to being part of a failed bomb detonation, or if it somehow appeared there by other, more anomalous means, is unknown. But regardless of how it got there, the attempted recovery of the object led to the deaths of several American service members from radiation-related illnesses, which the SCP Foundation soon learned of. After assisting in the retrieval of the sphere, the plutonium was relinquished to the Foundation's custody for containment. The SCP-095-FR sphere was placed under the purview of the French branch of the SCP Foundation, owing to their having a readily available site for containment, where the sphere was stored in a lead-lined radiation-blocking safe and classified as Euclid. Only D-Class were permitted to transport and handle the plutonium, since its effects amounted to a death sentence for anyone who got too close. They were also responsible for transferring the sphere to a new safe every 6 months, due to the damage it was causing them from constant bombardment of radiation. All of these containment procedures would have to be changed, though, following the events of January 7th, 2015. On that day, 69 years after it first took the lives of 2 scientists at the Los Alamos laboratory, and despite it being a scientific impossibility, Demon Core suddenly went supercritical all on its own. The resulting explosion was estimated to be roughly 33 kilotons, or about twice the power of the atomic bombs that had been detonated over Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Nearly the entire site housing SCP-095-FR was destroyed, along with 14 other safe and Euclid-class anomalies, and in the end, the death count totaled 285, with casualties coming from either the blast itself, the collapse of structures on the site, or from the resulting radiation poisoning. Incredibly, the sphere itself survived the explosion, showing no signs that it had detonated with the force of a nuclear weapon when it was recovered from the site's wreckage. Foundation researchers studying the Demon Core determined that it was likely to explode again in roughly 50 years, and that the only discernible difference measured in the core before it suddenly went supercritical and destroyed the Foundation site was a sudden spike in radiation. Foundation scientists have no idea how the Demon Core survived, or how it detonated without warning. Some theorize that it may exist in some kind of time loop, which would potentially explain its explosion regeneration cycle. That it is possible the core has actually detonated several times before entering into Foundation custody. But perhaps the bigger question when it comes to the Demon Core and why it has become such a dangerous object is why. Is there something contained within this seemingly cursed sphere of plutonium? Is it a part of those who have been impacted by the quest to harness the power of atomic energy somehow contained within, now desperate to get out and unleash their anger on the world? Research continues, but due to the extreme danger that comes from working with the anomaly, it's likely these questions will remain unanswered for some time. Following the destruction of the Foundation site, SCP-095-FR was reclassified to Keter, an underground bunker designed to withstand an explosion equivalent to a standard atomic bomb, which it is hoped will be enough to contain the blast that is almost inevitable to happen again. It's a story of fun, even for those of us who work with and around anomalies on a daily basis, to be reminded of the incredible destructive power of nuclear weapons. Some of the most feared and deadly anomalies contained by the SCP Foundation pale in comparison to the carnage that we've inflicted on ourselves. And it's important to remember that sometimes the true demons are found inside of us. Now go and watch another entry from the files of Dr. Bob, like SCP-767, Crime Scene Photographs, or another anomalous object with a strange and deadly secret. And make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single anomaly as we delve further and further into the SCP Foundation's classified archives. The High Priest, adorned in the finest purple ceremonial robes, stands before the great, bull-headed statue in the darkened belly of the castle. The year is 850 CE. Masked worshippers whisper chants of holy reverence on all sides. He is in his element. Everything they do in service of the great god Moloch. All around, banners bearing the sigil of the Brazen Heart hang. It's a celebration. Just a few hours earlier, forces had invaded an enemy church in the hills. They'd slaughtered most of the congregation in a sudden whirlwind of bloody violence, staining their swords in the great Moloch's name. But as the High Priest had ordered, some of these blaspheming Christian churchgoers were taken prisoner and brought back to the castle for questioning. Here, the High Priest would deal with them himself. A sadistic, tooth-bearing grin crosses his face at the very thought of it. Soon after the ceremony, the High Priest descends into the dungeon, which he'd taken with a certain flourish, to calling you. Here he keeps his private collection of torture tools from around the world, each of which he takes great pleasure in using against the worms who refuse to bend the knee to his bloodthirsty god.
In the game room, the air is suffused with the stink of blood and sweat. Prisoners who still have tongues start to scream when the High Priest enters, knowing that everything is about to get so much worse for them. He's cultivated a certain reputation as a man willing to do anything to ensure the superiority of his infamous cult, the Brazen Heart. If ever you fell into his terrible clutches, escape was out of the question. The very best you could possibly hope for was a mercifully quick death. In the corner of the room, one unfortunate captive was twisted and shattered against a breaking wheel, still tortuously alive. In the corner across from him, another prisoner bleeds from the inside of the grimacing iron beam that the High Priest had overseen the destruction of personally. The bed was from the very beginning, the High Priest's collection of terrible instruments. Prisoners teeter in agony on Judas cradles and Spanish donkeys. Skin is stretched and bones are cracked on racks. Some are pierced as they sit on the monstrous iron chair, while others simmer away with great vats of oil. Some scream as they from their wrists and the 10 pound of staccato. Lead sprinklers, Spanish ticklers, bone screws, crocodile shears, choke pears, melee boots, heretics' forks, bastinado sticks, scolds' bridles, scavengers' daughters. The High Priest has all of them, and he's adept at using them. But they all pale in comparison to his favorite piece, prized possession, gifted from the bosom of Moloch himself, the Liar's Cradle. Such a perfectly ingenious tool for physical pain and mental terror. It's positioned at the very center of the game room, just so every other prisoner in every other device can see him using it, and know that it's their eventual fate. A mighty stone furnace with huge metal grates on either side. As the High Priest approaches, he can see a terrified prisoner already writhing within the machine. When the prisoner sees him, the fear only gets worse. The High Priest would have no mercy for him. He'd spent 10 hours on the breaking furnace, and felt that he was staying in a king-sized bed compared to what he was about to endure. Two of the High Priest's sadistic acolytes jab at him through the grates with red-hot pokers. The High Priest grins and asks the prisoner what village he hails from. When the villager surrenders the information, the High Priest gives a sagely nod. He asks how old the prisoner is, and the prisoner says 27. Again, the High Priest nods. He asks the prisoner whether he would like to leave and be with his family again, and of course, the prisoner replies yes. He has no idea that they're all already dead. The High Priest smiles and says, "Just one more question, then.
The intrepid explorer returns.
What is my true
Extra
name?"
layer of dust makes me
The
think
prisoner
you
pauses
might have
for a
actually
moment,
succeeded.
serves them another jab
Time
with
to
the
spill.
poker. He tells the High Priest that he doesn't know. He's jabbed again, and again, and again. He begins to
Well,
cry and starts
glad you got
apologizing.
something useful out
He
of the
doesn't know the High
equation.
Priest's true
You
name.
deserve
How could he
it.
possibly
And more
know
honestly.
how much he's
In
tormented?
fact,
The High Priest says,
what I
"Well,
will do
just give me
is
your
foot
best
you a
guess."
discount. You'll never pay full price here while I'm still above the
The
ground.
game room falls silent.
Really, it's
All
about the
eyes
least
on the
I could do
prisoner
at
in the
this
Liar's
point.
Cradle. His lip trembles,
And I
knowing
nearly
from the
forgot.
dark legends what
Once
will
we
happen
got
when
the
he
power
answers.
back on,
He
we
breathes
started
a
cooking up this broadcast. Some woman claiming to be an overseer of one Vault 76. I thought it might pique your interest. I can't tell you if she is who she claims she is, but I figured if anyone could sort it out, well,
By the
it was
time it's
going to
done,
be you.
the pile of ashes that was once the
Honestly,
prisoner
thank you.
falls to degrade
We're on
in the
our
bottom
feet now
of the
because
Liar's
of
Cradle.
you.
The High
You
Priest
take care
turns
of
to the
yourself
rest
out
of
there,
the
honey.
room and asks,
One wayward soul
"Who's
to another.
next?" Of all the many adjectives you could use to describe SCP-2128, also known as the Liar's Cradle, humanity certainly isn't high on the list. This antique stone furnace was discovered deep in the dungeons of an undisclosed castle, believed to be a former refuge of a fringe occultic group known as the Brazen Heart, the cult of worshippers of the Canaanite deity Moloch, an entity mentioned several times in the Hebrew Bible. Among the deity's most notable traits is its bull-like appearance and the fact it requests no human sacrifices. This feels extremely relevant, given the fact that the Liar's Cradle is all about giving its victims a fiery end. While the thaumaturgic methods used by members of the Brazen Hand to create the Liar's Cradle is unknown, what is clear are the cradle's capabilities and functions. When a human being is placed within the cradle and answers questions, a single lie will lead to them being anomalously incinerated. And the device is ready for light is frightening lie. The victim will be
incinerated if something they say is factually untrue or regardless of the victim's personal knowledge.
idea, guys.
In other words, ignorance as an excuse will not save you.
There's going to be an army of
Brazenheart was what identified hundreds of years ago by soldiers of the Spanish Inquisition.
the
The
anime
SCP
nerds
Foundation has been able to
get
glean
that
background
on
information
the
about the Liar's
that
Cradle
was jokes,
for surviving
that was a joke.
Shakespeare's role, known as the Ignis manuscript. It is revealed that the cradle was invented around the 9th century CE before being walled up in 1021 CE. During its heyday, it was used as a torture device by Brazenheart members against their enemies.
Ladies and gentlemen of
Torture is
Appalachia.
actually incredibly ineffective at getting information. Studies have shown that more states of extreme duress will simply say what they believe their captors want to hear in order to make the suffering stop. The Liar's Cradle is an excellent method of marking information as captives. Well, aside from the fact that one lie means the captive is immediately reduced to ashes. The SCP-2128 works on a true or false binary operating system that seems to imply an innate awareness of all knowledge. If you have enough captives to burn and know the right deductive or inductive questions to ask, it's possible to know almost anything in enough time. It's believed that Brazenheart used the Liar's Cradle both for practical purposes and their own twisted amusement. Victims would be placed in the device and would be plotted with hot pokers. They were asked a series of increasingly probing questions about their life. Being forced to divulge extremely dark and personal secrets or meet their doom of fire. It was a depraved combination of physical and mental torture. Even hearing about all this makes you feel easy. Nobody could blame you for that. The SCP Foundation, however, looked at the Liar's Cradle and saw incredible potential. As mentioned earlier, the Liar's Cradle bases its judgment on raw factual knowledge, not the knowledge of its particular victims, so anyone with enough people to earn can conceivably work their way towards discovering any binary answer. And given that the SCP Foundation has an almost unlimited number of D-Class personnel at their disposal, it didn't take long for them to realize all the knowledge that was up for grabs. They just need to make a few sacrifices along the way, and trying to save more people in the long run. Mullen himself would probably be proud. It was this somewhat morally dubious chain of thought that led to the creation of Experimental Protocol 37 Sparafusum, the Foundation's plan to utilize the Liar's Cradle to discover more information that would assist in their mission to continue the legacy and protect the human race. It was outlined in a 5-step procedure that is as follows. 1. One D-Class employee, referred to as the Messenger, will be laid inside SCP-2128. 2. The Messenger will read statements as instructed from the prepared list. 3. After each statement, if the Messenger remains unharmed, the statement is to be marked as true. 4. As soon as the Messenger is incinerated, a new Messenger is to be provided. The statement that triggered the incineration is to be marked as false. 5. A new Messenger will be assigned. Repeat as needed. While the total extent of these tests remains off the record, the official files on SCP-2128 have some fascinating supplementals about some of the results of Experimental Protocol 37 Sparafusum. The first set of tests was designated ED-37 Sparafusel-22, Getter Checkup, and was conducted on January 10, 2014. The messenger in this case was D-6238. The first statement this D-Class was fed was, "The human race is in danger of extinction right now." Seeing as D-6238 didn't immediately go up in flames, this was found to be true. The second statement was, "The danger comes from an item in Foundation custody." Much to the relief of the D-Class, this was also found to be true, and he lived to make another statement. This statement was, "The dangerous item in question is located at a site in North America." This was, sadly, the D-Class's last words, as this statement proved to be false, and he was immediately burned to death for his troubles. The next messenger brought in was a woman now known as D-6239, after she committed an armed robbery that killed several innocents and landed her on death row. Her statement was, "The dangerous item in question is located at a site in Europe." This caused her to be immediately incinerated. The SCP Foundation then continued to narrow their focus on this matter over the next 13 D-Classes. With the information they gained, they were able to narrow down that SCP-752, a subspecies of humans who are eager to displace and replace non-anomalous humanity, would be the cause of a containment breach that could potentially end the human race's dominance if it weren't stopped. D-6253 was given the statement, "SCP-752 will breach containment within the next month." The answer was true. Next came SCP-752 will breach containment
containment within the next week. Also, this proved to be true. D6253 would finally meet their maker. The false statement, SCP-752, will breach containment tomorrow. This opened the door for the final correct answer delivered to us by D6254, that SCP-752 will breach containment today. Armed with this vital information in the nick of time, the Foundation dispatched MTF New 7, also known as Hammer Down, their largest and most well-armed mobile task force, to the site in question. This quick thinking allowed them to quell the threat at the exact right time and save the world from an SK-class dominance shift scenario that would have left humanity in the dust. Using the Liar's Cradle, the SCP Foundation had just saved the world as we know it, and all it had taken was a handful of D-class lives. So naturally, the tests with the Liar's Cradle didn't stop there. Next came EV-37 Sparafusel-23, Knowledge Measure. As the name suggests, this test hoped to ascertain the extent of the knowledge the Liar's Cradle possessed, seeing as it could continue to come in handy for Foundation purposes. The first messenger was D7784, who was fed the statement, SCP-2128 knows everything. This turned out to be false, and led to the D-Class's immediate incineration. However, the lead researcher on the case decided to take a different approach. Perhaps, he thought, the Liar's Cradle didn't accept the numerical designation the Foundation had placed on it. The next messenger, D7785, led to the statement, the Liar's Cradle knows everything, which proved true, because that allowed him to live long enough to be incinerated like his next statement. The Liar's Cradle will tell us everything. After his incineration, D7786 stepped up to the metaphorical plate, first saying, the Liar's Cradle will tell me everything I need to know. The Cradle judged this to be true. It did not, however, take kindly to, the Liar's Cradle will tell the Foundation everything they need to know. It declared this statement false by immediately incinerating the D-Class. After this incineration, the EP-37 Sparafusel project was out of its daily allotted D-Classes and decided to call it a night. Their next test was the mysterious and controversial EP-37 Sparafusel-24 Sunday School song, which utilized D791 as its messenger. She was fed the statement, Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world. The results of this particular test have been permanently expunged from SCP Foundation records. Next came EP-37 Sparafusel-25 Pinocchio Paradox, which was an experiment intended to see how the Liar's Cradle would react to logical paradoxes. Spoilers, it doesn't involve as much incineration as you might expect.
I miss watching Dad grade papers on the living room
Provided the
table.
statements telling the Liar's
I miss
Cradle
the
of
three of
paradox
us
is
huddled
dangerous to
around the
Foundation
radio,
personnel.
listening
This
to the
was proven
silver
to be false.
shroud.
Ironically, he was burned alive.
Dad, you were right about what living underground would really be like. 25 years locked in with the same people was a challenge. But watching them pair up, get married, have children, well, I think I got to know a little bit of what you and Mom were always telling me.
This was proven through empirical observation to be false. 10 seconds passed without incineration.
Since I'm doing this whole trip down memory lane, maybe a walk over to the old high school was in order.
Yes, they interrupted
This caused D8234 to rapidly succumb to a previously undiscovered form of gangrene and pass away in minutes. D8235 entered and said, the Liar's Cradle is going to inflict physical harm on me right now. This was proven false, and D8235 climbed out of the Liar's Cradle unharmed. At this point, however, he began to cry and scream out the word, good luck. Before dying by altogether unpleasant means that I don't wish to discuss in great detail here. The last experiment we have on record here is EV-37 Sparafusel-26, subjective opinion, which intended to see the Liar's
Cradle to use my Western build again. It's a build that strictly uses revolvers and lever action rifles, and it hits really hard. Even though you fire very slowly, you do a lot of damage per shot, and you tend to land most of your shots because your accuracy will be pretty high, especially with the rifle. The weapons I carry when I use this build be the Dom Pedro, the Western revolver, the 44 pistol, the pipe revolver, and the lever action. For the Western build, I do recommend the reverse onslaught build, because the damage potential is way higher than anything else. If you decide to run anything other than reverse onslaught for a Western build, you can probably do half the damage. Also, you will have to prioritize accuracy as well, because if your accuracy is too low, You will not be able to use that actually, especially with the film posters. Because out of all the weapons that I mentioned, the Dom Pedro has the worst range out of all of them. So we'll figure out how to make it more effective at range. For this video, I will quickly go over the weapons, the serums, the armor mod.
Steven decided to get cocky actually. Joke's on you, jackasses. Apparently he wanted Teresa. But immediately incinerated due to the fact that he was not in fact Mother Teresa. His ashes were soon accompanied by that of D9228, who made the statement, "The liar's cradle is sometimes incorrect," being burned to death. Next came D9229, allowed for his great unwritten statements and illustrated tasks performed by the liar's cradle. He said, "The liar's cradle speaks only infallible and empirical truth." True. He said, "The liar's cradle is hungry." True. He said, "The liar's cradle's hunger can never be satiated, no matter how full it is." True. He said, "The liar's cradle would like to incinerate me right now." True. He said, "The liar's cradle is growing impatient." True. He said, "The liar's cradle seemed delicious and protein from its plate, very much like to be fed." He said, "The liar's cradle is angry that it is continually denied its meat." True. He said, "Evil meat is delicious." True. He said, "Nothing delicious." True. He said, "My skin is weak." True. He said, "When fire, oil trims the fat and rapidly cauterizing flesh gives the liar's cradle pleasure." True. After such an incredible streak that also allowed for a great insight into the apparent personality of the liar's cradle, D9229 was withdrawn from time. He was replaced by D9230, who said, "Leave her Ishmael," and was immediately incinerated. It's widely believed that this outcome came from the liar's cradle maliciously interpreting Earth as dirt, rather than the planet Earth, just so it could incinerate the subject. Just because the liar's cradle is largely objective doesn't mean it isn't incredibly petty, we would see. Because of the static nature of SCP-2128, it has been taken over here in space times. Containment Site 403 has been SCP-2128, and a healthy supply of D-Class personnel is regularly scheduled up for EP-37 squads. The sadistic sorcerers of the Grayson Heart may be long gone, but in a strange and disturbing twist of fate, researchers of the SCP Foundation are keeping the spirit of their work alive, even today. Now go and watch another entry from the files of Dr. Bob, like SCP-987 of the Gruesome Gallery, for another terrifying anomalous object that reveals some terrifying truths. All you can see were glimpses, flashes of movement. You really make out that there was a girl. You can see the girl behind her slip a bag full of pain. It's a squirrel, being dragged through the dark. The sound of a shovel scraping against the dirt. The body is thrown into the shallow hole. As the dirt begins to rain down on her face, her eye opens up. The boy's eyes open too. He sits up with a panic jolt. Shaky and covered in sweat, he looks around his dark room and realizes that it was only a dream. The entire morning as the boy gets ready and rides the bus, it's much full. All he can think about is the dream and the girl. With teenage girls without fuel, their mother's sports car convertible, they're having too much fun. Driving much too fast down the dark country roads. Just the shadow of an animal wolfing across the road. That means enough to get the driver jerk the wheel, causing the car to lose control. All of the girls scream, but none more than the one who is the cause of the sliding, spinning car. The girls stand around their dead friend and make a solemn pact. No one here will ever know that she was hooked on. They go towards the woods. Everyone turns to look at the dilapidated shed. As the girls, now dirty from their long night of digging, fill up the hole, emerge from the shed with a dim motor light. None of them are aware that beneath the dirt, the girl is still breathing. It's gray and struggles to
buried beneath the woodshed's dirt floor. Ground-penetrating imaging tools were brought in to investigate the shed, and researchers discovered that underneath one portion of the floor that appears to have been scorched at some point, a body is buried roughly 1 meter beneath the surface, which has since been designated as SCP-4595-A. Scans have revealed the body to be a humanoid figure, vaguely feminine in appearance. Its limbs are twisted in a painful and unnatural manner. There are several large wounds present on its face, chest, and head. But perhaps strangest of all is that despite evidence at the site pointing to the location not having been disturbed for many years, the corpse buried beneath does not seem to show any signs at all of decomposition, still appearing as it most likely did at the time it was interred in the ground. You are most likely asking yourself why the SCP Foundation has relied solely on subterranean imaging in order to assess the state of SCP-4595-A, and why they don't simply dig up the anomalous corpse. The reason